Now the next instrument that we are going to talk about is a Geldahl unit. So when we talk about Geldahl unit, that is basically the instrument which is used in order to estimate protein. Now if we see the Geldahl method of protein estimation, it consists of 3 steps. First is digestion, second distillation, and third is titration. Now when we talk about titration, it is mostly being done by the method of burette setup. So that's why you can't see that as a unit of the apparatus. So in the digestion unit, in the Geldahl unit, now here you can see only 2 units. The first one is the digestion unit and the second one is the distillation unit. So here we will just talk about these 2 instruments or these 2 assembly, how it works. Now firstly, to talk about the protein estimation, now we all know that the protein is present in the food in the form of nitrogen. So in order to know how much is the protein that is present in the food, we must know how much is the nitrogen content that is present in the food. Once we know the nitrogen content, we can easily find out the protein content by converting the nitrogen content with a factor. So we have to multiply the nitrogen with a factor and then we can know what is the protein content. Now that conversion factor from food to food, it differs. So like for rice, it is we are having 1 conversion factor, for wheat we have 1 conversion factor, for milk we have 1 conversion factor. So whatever the food you are analyzing, for that food what is the conversion factor, that we are supposed to know, and then what is the nitrogen content that is present in the food, that we will find out with this method, and then we will just multiply the nitrogen content with the conversion factor and we will come to know what is the total protein content. Now to talk about this instrument, you can see there are this glass flask which is also called to be as digestion flask. Now this apparatus, this assembly is called to be as digestion unit. So here you see the flask is called to be as digestion flask, which is been set on again heating mantle. So in this apparatus that we have in our lab, it is having this facility to digest 3 samples at once. Okay, that means at a maximum of 3 samples together you can set it for digestion. Now like if you want to do digestion for only 1 sample, that is also possible, in which only one of the heating mantle you are supposed to turn on. Okay, so now talking about the operation of this instrument, first thing is you have to take the sample from which you want to identify or estimate the protein content. So in that digestion flask, you have to take the sample, you have to pour in concentrated acid, which is mostly the concentrated sulfuric acid. So and apart from that, we have to also take digestion mixture, which will help in digesting the food in the acid, so that the process it becomes faster and you get the conversion faster. Degradation of nitrogen to ammonium, it becomes faster because of the digestion mixture. So and also you can see this tubing which has been provided. So basically when you are boiling very concentrated acid, the fumes that will be formed will be very much harmful. So you don't want the fumes to be to be circulating in the lab. So that's why such type of tubing is being given, so that you can send out the fumes that is being generated in the instrument. Now also you can do such type of digestion inside the fume hood, where automatically the fume hood will be removing the fumes from the instrument or from this lab outside in the environment. So this is about the digestion. So once the digestion is complete, we have to take this and we have to take the digested sample and we have to put it in the distillation unit. Okay, so now we will talk about the distillation unit or how it operates. Now let us talk about this distillation unit. Now in the first step of digestion, the food that we are taking, the nitrogen which is present in the food, we are making it to digest with sulfuric acid. Now because of the reaction, the nitrogen that is present, the bond of the nitrogen that is present, it gets broken down and the nitrogen gets converted to ammonia, but not in the free form. Since we are digesting the sample with sulfuric acid, the ammonia gets bind with the sulfate and then it is present in the form of ammonium sulfate. So that happens in the first stage. Now in the second stage of the distillation, we have to convert this ammonium sulfate in the form of ammonia, and that ammonia we will be collecting in other receiving flask, where we will use boric acid, and in that boric acid, when the ammonia gets converted to ammonium borate. Now that ammonium borate we have to titrate in the third stage. So before going or explaining it further, let me show you how this instrument is. So you can see this is the feed-in tube. So that means from which you can put the sample inside the instrument. So you can see there is this top cord. So you have to open it just, and it is just like your burette. So you have to just open it and then you have to pour in the sample inside. So once you pour in the sample inside, you close it. Now in the second stage, which is also called to be as distillation, sometimes you will also come across that it is called as neutralization and distillation. Now why that term is being given is because the sample that we are getting from the digestion unit, that we are that actually we have to dilute it and then we have to add it in this flask, and at the same time we have to also add sodium hydroxide. Now in the first stage, if you remember, it is we are digesting it with sulfuric acid, which is an acid. Now in this we are adding sodium hydroxide, which is an alkali. So that is why the neutralization occurs in this reaction flask, and that's why sometimes it is also the second stage is also called to be as neutralization and distillation. Okay, so that is the one thing. So once you have taken the sample inside, and then you have to turn on the heating mantle. So then the sample, with the diluted sample along with your sodium hydroxide, will start getting boiled, and then the sample that is present, the ammonium sulfate which was present, which was formed in the first stage, will get converted to ammonia because of the reaction with the sodium hydroxide. Now that ammonia will travel through this tube or through this chamber, and then it will get collected in the receiving flask. Now that we can collect the vapor, we are able to collect in the receiving flask because we are also having a condensing chamber, that is condensing tube that is present inside in the instrument itself. So as we know, in the what we do in the condensing is we have to give water supply, cooled water supply. So because of that, the cooling effect, the vapor which is being formed inside will again condense, and then it in the form of liquid it will drop back. Okay, so that is why this chamber or this condenser or chamber or the water supply provision is being given in this instrument. So now I will let you have a close look of this instrument. Okay, so I hope you can see this is the sample feed-in chamber or tube. So here the stop cork is being given, so you have to just open it, you have to pour the sample. So it is the diluted sample that you are getting after digestion, so the digested sample, and then along with that sodium hydroxide we have to put it, and then we have to close it here. Now once it comes in this reaction flask, then we have to turn it on. So once it turns it on, the ammonium sulfate, ammonium sulfate which was formed in the digested sample, so that along with sodium hydroxide will get boiled. Now once that reaction occurs, your ammonia will form. Now ammonia in the form of vapor or the gas, it will travel through this column or through this tube, and then it will come till here. Now this tube that you can see, it is a condensing tube, okay, or condensing chamber. So you can see these two tubings attached, one is for the inlet and other one is for the outlet. Okay, so that because of this chamber, the cooling effect that it gives, so the sample or the ammonium gas that has been formed, that will get condensed again and it will be collected into this receiving flask. Okay, in this receiving flask we are going to take boric acid, which will generally take at a percentage of 2 to 4%. So in that boric acid we trap that ammonia. So now in order to understand if the ammonia is being received or not, because there will be no color indication, okay, so we can't know whether it is being received or not, so that's why we put a color indicator in this receiving flask. Now because of the reaction of the ammonia and that color indicator, the color will get converted. So by seeing the color changes, you will know that the sample is being distilled. Okay, is being distilled and being collected here. Now in this form, since boric acid is there, your ammonia is coming from this distillation unit. So now the product that you will get here will be your ammonium borate. Okay, that is the final product in the second step of protein distillation or protein estimation. Now in the second stage we are getting ammonium borate, from which we have to find out how much is the nitrogen content. So for that we are doing the third stage of protein estimation, of Gelderl protein estimation, in which we are checking, we are doing the titration in order to find out how much is the nitrogen percentage or content present in the ammonium borate. That means in the food, how much was the nitrogen content. Now once we know the nitrogen content that is present in the food, we have to take that nitrogen content or nitrogen value, we have to multiply with the conversion factor of the food sample that you have taken. Then once we do the conversion, or once we multiply that, we will get exactly how much is the protein that is present in the food. Okay, so this is just to show about the different parts of the Geldal apparatus, that is the digestion and the distillation unit. So once you learn theoretically the basic principle of the Geldal method, it will be more clear that how the processing step it continues. Okay, so this is about your protein digestion and distillation method.